Well, how you do, Buckers? How the heck are you? I am Trying to Beer Whisperer. I am just getting my coals ready. I'm gonna put a ham on to smoke. I'm just gonna add just a little bit of maple smoke to it. It's a butt portion ham. Just want to add a little extra smoke, and then I'm gonna put just a little glaze on it for Easter. So as my coals were warming up here. I'm just getting a lump of charcoal ready. I'm going to put a fire and kind of burn out my grill, clean everything up a little bit. Anyways, not that you give a rat's ass, but I'd like to give you some backstory. Hey, Tallgrass Brewing Company, Vanilla Bean Buffalo Sweat. Actually picked this up about 2 or 3 weeks ago, but I had one left in the fridge. After some unexpected car repairs, took my entire paycheck, a 2-week paycheck, not a week paycheck. So I'm flat broke for 2 weeks, so don't feel sorry for me. I'm okay. I've got plenty of food around, and I've got some leftover beer hanging around, so I'm going to be okay. Just won't be buying any new stuff this week, man. Anyway, so Vanilla Bean Buffalo Sweat, oatmeal cream stout brewed with vanilla beans. Years ago, we started our cask beer program to experiment with new flavors. What you're drinking here is our very first cask creation, Buffalo Sweat infused with whole vanilla beans, sweet, creamy, and delicious. The nose is very nice. You do feel that oatmeal cream stout on the nose, infused with that vanilla bean. It's one of those beers that you could possibly beer float, but the body feels a little bit lighter than I like to personally use, but it would work flavor-wise. But the flavor is nice. It is extremely drinkable. You'll feel some nice roasted barley notes. You may get hints of chocolate. You really feel just creamy vanilla all the way through it, though. It's nice. If you like vanilla in beers, I think this one will certainly please you. It's a very easy drinking oatmeal cream stout. Very pleasing. I've got I don't know, probably about a mid-70 day here today in the Ozarks, but it is rather overcast. There's a little bit of wind, so it's not necessarily weather for this, but it works just the same, because it's certainly not sunny. There's no sun to be found at the moment. Oh. So our daughter's doing Easter with the in-laws this year, so we're going to go over there tomorrow and celebrate Easter, but I'm going to prepare a little bit of ham. She likes ham. Actually, we're going to, weather permitting, we're going to do what I call an El Paso Easter. I lived in Las Cruces in El Paso, Texas for about 1.5 years in the late 90s. And I was surprised at Easter time that they weren't stocking hams. They said, "Oh no, we don't do that here. They all go out to the parks and lakes or whatever they can find, water parks mostly, and grill. They grill hamburgers, hot dogs. That's what they do. So, but that's what they wanted to do over there this year. So we're going to do what I call an El Paso Easter. But I'm doing the ham because, well, we had one, so I'm going to cook it anyway, so we have some at the house. But my daughter loves ham salad, so again, I'm going to put a little extra smoke on this ham. I'm going to do a little my own personal touch glaze there, and then make her some nice ham salad. Wife's going to do some deviled eggs, and she also wants a macaroni salad. She wants something with peas, so I'm going to do a macaroni salad with peas for her. It's my Fossil Cove glass, but it works for this beer. It's very nice. Again, I don't know. I guess maybe my tastes have changed over the years. I don't know. The body feels lighter to me than I remember, I guess is what I was getting at. But the flavors are nice. Again, it's certainly enjoyable. It's very drinkable. Tallgrass does some pretty good stuff. I was trying to think when I first had Tallgrass. I don't know, maybe, I was going to say 10 years ago, but I think it's been longer than that. When I first had them, we went out to Kansas City for a weekend. Yeah, probably would. I think it probably was '07. Now that I think about it, we went out there for a ball game. See to the Royals, but then we found a little Irish pub where the name eludes me at the moment. I'm getting old, man. But anyway, they had the Tallgrass Ale. Now they call it. They've renamed it the Tallgrass Pub Ale. But at that time, they just called it Tallgrass Ale. At the time, it actually reminded me more of an Irish ale. But I look on their website. Oh, the last time I looked on their website, it's been a while. They referred to it as I think they referred to it as an English mild, if I remember right. It's only 4.4%. It's very light. Oh. But they have changed their beers over the years. Like most craft breweries, though, there's certainly not anything wrong with that. I think the breweries that are able to adapt are the ones that will eventually, be able to keep going. I think you keep hearing talk about this, supposed craft beer collapse. This doom and gloom. At this point, it's like Chicken Little, the sky is falling, because you hear about it, every so often. And it's basically the same article rehashed with a handful of new words, but. I mean, there is a lot of craft breweries out there, and there's more popping up all the time. Will all of them survive? No, that's just the way it is, man. But it doesn't mean that there's this imaginary bubble that's going to burst. At some point, will a bunch of them crash at once? Well, I don't know. Only the weak ones. Really, to be honest, though, it's not always the bad operations that fail. Sometimes good operations fail when they might overextend. Sometimes good people just make bad decisions. And sometimes bad operations have money to survive, so it's not always the strongest that survive. In my opinion, there isn't this bubble that's going to burst. I mean, will all of them survive in the end now? Do I think at some point a lot of the trendy craft beer drinkers, are they going to move on to the next trend? Yes. But I think there's enough core craft beer guys like myself, or folks, not that we're all men. There's a large women tend to really love craft beer these days too, and that's awesome. So yeah, I do think there's a lot of folks talking about craft beer only because it's trendy. So those folks will eventually drop off when they get bored and they find a new trend. But there's just enough of us out there that have been drinking craft beer for longer than it's been called craft beer. So I don't think I don't believe that there's this bubble that's going to burst. I think the notion is ridiculous, in my opinion. So there you go. First beer of the day, and darn, it was tasty. So I think my coals are hot. I'm going to get them ready, and I may come back later. Who knows?